Hello everyone, I'm Star here, and welcome back to more Son of Drop, Fall into Poison. So, we were saved, me, Sayo, and Mari. And now I know what happened and everything else. So, let us continue where we left off. Yep. When I looked over my shoulder, there's a small silhouette. And you're glowing. Mari is tinged with a transparent blue light. Her hair color is strange, almost sublime. Isn't it great? I don't know if I say great. Oh, cool? Right? Huh? Oh, Mari. It makes me sad because in a way I kind of wish she was still alive, to be honest. Mari's whole face is in a smile and she spins around once, with almost the same ease that her skirt flutters. The light enveloping Mari spreads throughout the whole room. The room illuminated in blue light gradually returns to its original form as the deep sea fish booth. No, it's not the same. There's not one trace of aggression that has swelled so high in the deep sea creatures up to a short time ago, and they swim about within the light. They resemble the fish who swim about without regard to the containment of the tunnel tank, but they are definitely more free. It's the exact opposite of negative feelings such as hate or malice. Pancake octopi, football fish, oarfish, brown jellies, and flower hat jellies, barrel eye, and cigarette fish in preparator. And there's a dahlia anemone, as well as an inshore hagfish. Sal's following the fish with her eyes. Those eyes bear the purity that lives in Mari. Along the same lines, I am also enjoying being surrounded by so many different creatures like this. They can be forgiven for their previous attack. The creatures begin to gradually swim around Mari. Mari, what did you do? I became one with the fish. I prayed and made a wish that I want to protect my big sister. Just like the director and the others. No, it's different. You don't have that sinister feeling. The only ones who do are those who make corrupt wishes. With this, we may be able to hold off that whale. On the other hand, we may also be able to destroy the red Manten Aquarium. Malice, hatred, anger, the imprisoned souls have been freed from these things. Look, and you'll understand. It's different from one unified form following one giant will, all of them being touched by Mari's light. Their liberated souls are each cooperating. You could say it's numerous individuals responding as one community. We've received help from an unexpected source. Mari, you really are amazing. I become happy and embrace Mari. But it doesn't work the way it did before. Even as I pitch forward, Mari's body gives no tactical resistance, and I fall to the floor. I reach out my hand for Mari's to try and stand up, but our fingers cannot touch. My eyes surely widening as Mari gazes at me with intense look. Big sister, I understand as well. I exhale without thinking. Her serious expression is one that I've never seen before. I realize she's grown up within eternity itself. If you take care of those bad people, big sister, I'll disappear too, because this aquarium itself will cease to exist. Yeah. If everyone gets eaten up by the big whale, it might not disappear, but I don't want to stay in such a scary place forever. But Siganumereka and her cohort call the whale, that giant malevolent aggregation, is the means of closing off this world. I personally would not want to spend an eternity in such a place. More importantly than anything else, I refuse to let Mari be trapped. My precious little sister, she can't be saved if she can't go to heaven. I won't give up. Leave it to me, and you'll go back to the real world where you can rest easy, big sister. What do you say, Mari? We'll stand up to them together. I put my hand out in front of Mari. Huh? But big sister, you guys can't do anything, can you? We can be with you, even if it's just for a little longer. With the back of my hand facing up, I stretch my arm out towards Mari, and finally it seems she realizes what I'm trying to do. Mari also extends her hand, laying it with naturally no feeling to it over mine. Even with her hand giving off no body heat, I am sure I can feel a warmth to it. Are you trying to leave me out? You want in, Saya-chan? If you say so as well, Mari, but I'm fine. I haven't atoned just yet. If I don't at least say what I want to, I can't go home. That seems so like you, Sayo. It's not bad, is it? Saying this, Sayo places her paw on top of Mari's hand. Oddly enough, it's as if I can feel her skin. If this sensation is what we call individuality, then what they said is wrong. It's precisely because each individual can come together that we are strong. It's incomparable to just existing on survival instincts alone, having hatred and malice as one's driving force. One can consume everything. Humans weren't born just to survive. We'll definitely do it. I protect the two of you, so you definitely need to make it home. Let's not have any regrets anymore. Mari, if you're protecting me, then I will support you and definitely return to Himeno's side. I take a small breath and look up at the ceiling. Let's head for the other side of this roof. Oh, it's getting intense. Not gonna lie, I almost started crying when they deal with Mari, because man, I wish Mari was still alive. Here is alright as well. Taking the front entrance out of the deep sea fish booth, we've arrived at the tunnel tank. Mari is praying at the center of the room, addressing the fish and living creatures. The creatures do not respond verbally, but the blue light emanating from Mari envelops them just at the deep sea fish booth. They begin to swim about freely. I wonder why the fish don't disappear. Since they're souls, they should also be able to cross over. Because they're all Mari's companions, they've been under the influence of a heart of fear up to now, but having been moved by Mari's pure heart, it seems like they want to help her. The fish's emotions, huh? Think you could hand in a paper on that? Should I write that Mari is glowing or something? If I write such a paper, they won't let me into high school. Big sister, you'll be in high school student soon. How cool, how cool. Mari is emphasizing her point by jumping up and down. The ultramarine light that seems to be not of this world is making an imprint out of Mari. As Mari says this, I can't really seem to answer her. Big sister, are you in the same class as Sayo-chan? No, we go to different schools. I go to Mitsuba Junior High, close to home. What about you, Sayo? A girls' school in the city. It includes elementary, junior, and high school. It's near Manten. Well, since the high school has begun recruiting, why not try for it? Though the score you need is high. Saya-chan, you want to be in the same class as my big sister. That's unnecessarily. It's not what I mean. Stop picking on me. Sayo's face becomes red and she shouts at Mari. Mari has a mischievous smile on her face. She seems to be attached to Sayo. I'm not used to seeing the power dynamics between these two play out so clearly, but it's quite funny. Anyway, let's keep moving. We need to go around the aquarium to all the areas and make all the creatures Mari's allies, right? The fishes say they'll help us and spread my light, so we can leave it to them. We should go look for that man and that lady. Allies, eh? They're probably our most reliable option. But you know, if we don't hurry and find the man, no matter how I help them, they'll be taken over by the scary feelings again. Overridden by the grudge. You mean, so if so, we should return to the director's office. Yeah, that's right. I'll go on the front, because the others are following me for now. Big sister, you too. Think about what you want to say to the man and the lady. Mari says, pointing her fingers towards the way we came. When Mari spins to the side, the dust in the air reflects the glittering light. It's as if she's clad in blue specks of light. Mari's world weighed heavily on my chest. She also probably realized it. This is the end, and the man and the lady, and all the imprisoned officials, even the big whale, I'll bring them all along, to the other side of that fuzzy world. I want to stay a human. This is what Mari's heart is screaming out. But I'm not sad. If I keep waiting the whole time, I'm sure I'll see you. At the time, I'll be an old lady. Will you recognize me? Big sister as an old lady? How funny. If their ambitions come to pass, Mari will never be able to go to heaven. Mari's forever trapped within the cage of being a grudge. It sounds like a ridiculous story. Sayo, if you still have doubts, maybe you shouldn't push yourself? Sayo clicks her tongue, then continues. I don't want to accept it. I still have doubts. I also feel that I don't want Papa to disappear, but to be imprisoned by a shapeless grudge, unable to be rescued. I pity him. He's already dead, so at least let him be relieved by Mari's kindness. My true resolve is that no matter how terrible he was, I still accept him as his daughter. It's not wrong, is it, going about it that way? Sayo smiles with the most relaxed expression I've ever seen her use. It's not the strained resolve she had when we met. The person who recklessly said she would throw away her life if it meant clearing up the truth in a different person. It's a different person. Like the time that Mari said she wanted to protect us, this is a pure wish. Mayumi, you should also probably be sure of your feelings. Even if this Hiyoshi guy is the real culprit who killed Mari, there's no need for him to die. If he can't be saved, you should save him. If he's alive, he should have to atone for his sins. Sayo. I don't hate him or anything. He was scary, but I've already forgotten about him. My only wish is to protect you too. Partying isn't all there is. You two taught me that. That's why, no matter what conclusion you reach, Mayumi, I've decided not to deny it. I still have things I want to know. Sayo turns to me with a serious look. I look Sayo directly in the eyes and continue. If I think about it, we still haven't heard the truth. We know why Saginuma Reiko planned to kill the director, but then why is Kenji not her accomplice? And what caused him to go mad? Since she saw the scene of the murder, they probably killed Mari to shut her up. Saginuma Reiko was probably killed as well, being afraid to give herself up and hesitating to kill Mari. It's nothing more than a hunch, but I have a feeling it's right. Back when Kenji-san attacked me, he tried to trick me by pretending to attack Saginuma Reiko instead, threatening as he was normal. Even though I can't think of it as something a human would do, he did it. One more thing, Saginuma Reiko. Sayo looks at me with a mysterious expression. Do you have some connections with her, Mayumi? Why did she keep her Mari around at that time? After a moment of silence passed, I clap both my hands together. Without knowing the truth, I can't reach a conclusion, so we should get going. I'm sure that night of the full moon will be over soon for Mari and for everyone in the aquarium. We cannot fail no matter what. Right. With Mari's cheerful reply, she stands in front of us and begins walking just as she had said. As I start to follow behind her, her form cloaked in light, Sayo pulls me back by the hem of my shirt. It's unexpected, a little surprising. Listen to me for a moment. Huh? What is it? Once we return to the real world, I probably will be too embarrassed to say this, so I'll say it now. Before I can respond, Sayo continues. Her cheeks have been tinged just slightly red color. Our conversation earlier about high school, since it's still about 6 months away, we have some time. Just give some serious consideration. You mean about going to the same high school? Hey, don't just say that and walk ahead. Aw, she's embarrassed. I followed behind the two of them at a jog. My time with Mari has been fun, but it's surely against the providence of this world. The amount of absurd and frightening things we have encountered is probably keeping the balance. Soon this time of terror will end, and so will my time with Mari. I want to keep being with her forever, but that wish won't be granted. If it won't be granted, at least let me engrave these feelings onto my heart. I will protect Mari along with my steadfast vow. Big sister, you're too slow. That's not true. I'm with you. We exit the tunnel tank and head on from the Fish of the World booth. It's dark. On opening the door to the director's office, the first thing that flies out at us is darkness. It's pitch black, dark enough to swallow up even the blue light flowing out from Mari. Big sister, be careful. Right. It's not just that it's dark, but there's some sort of ominous to it. Something is actively swallowing the light. The light flowing in from the door should illuminate the whole room, but it's safe to say that this isn't happening at all. I have no idea what has happened to the room, which should have been in complete disarray from the poltergeist phenomena. They're not here? Nope, they are. I can feel them. What is the useless thing you've done? That voice. Sagini Mariko, I knew it. Sagini Mariko's voice came almost in sync with the answer to Sayo's question. But from where? Even as I look around, I don't see them anywhere. Kenji-kun and I. I'm sure you all haven't the capacity to understand. Even if we can't see her, we can clearly hear her voice. It sounds as if it's generally coming from the director's office. But I have no idea where she is. I'll tell you, the thing I realized when we met here that I wanted you to know because he loved you. Wait, what? What? Don't say nonsensical things. Please show yourself. You may not realize that yourself, and you might have disappeared without knowing it. But within this aquarium, the yearning you felt when you were saved by him, I won't let you say that wasn't from a heart filled with love. Mayumi, don't engage her. I know, but if we let her go at this point, I get the feeling we won't learn about Sagini Mariko and Kenji-san. Not just that, I don't think we can completely ignore Sagini Mariko. To speak of a relationship, perhaps I should start with Kenji-kun. Hiyoshi Kenji. He is a criminal who killed his mother when he was little. Without realizing it, I've forgotten to breathe. At this rate, even Mara and Sayo can't help but be interested in Sagini Mariko's story. Killed her? You mean he murdered her? Nah, you think. I realize that my voice has completely changed. He had a sister 4 years younger than he. His innocent little sister accidentally swallowed the toy. He tried to make her cough it up, but it became hard for her to breathe. She was likely writhing in pain. At that point, Kenji-kun didn't save her. For someone with normal feelings, that would be unthinkable. Kenji-kun watched his sister struggle against death and was amused. So she died, like that. Discovering the scene of the crime, his mother criticized Kenji-kun. Of course, she would, since if he had helped his sister sooner, she wouldn't have died. Lacking that understanding, Kenji-kun wrung his mother's neck. As he did so, he saw his mother writhe in agony like his sister had, just as he expected. Then she was killed by her son's hand, and he enjoyed himself doing it. Watching his sister die? Actually killing his mother? No, that's scary, big sister. As if its reaction to Mari's frightened voice, the blue light flickers, but rather than illuminating us, it's swallowed up by the darkness. I take hold of Mari's tiny hand and squeeze it. Even though I can't hold her hand, I get the sense I can feel her shaking. How old are you right now? I'm 14 right now. Having been asked so suddenly, I answer on instinct. The story is from when Kenji-kun was around 8 or so, so you all probably weren't born yet. So y'all ancient old. That has nothing to do with this. Just tell us everything from the beginning. My, don't you want to hear it? There should be no need for you to be so cold, right? You're not so high and mighty. Isn't that the attitude you take when you want something? That part of you is very much like your father, isn't it? At her words, Sayo suddenly cast her eyes downward. That's fine, but I'm the one who started telling the story, so I'll let you hear it through to the end. Her voice resonating through the darkness, finally continues. He was remanded to an institution where he received behavior modification. It is no exaggeration to say that these inhumane treatments made Kenji-kun who he is now. Having become able to lead a respectable life after sealing off his mental deformities, he began attending a high school near Manten. After some time, he began a part-time job at the souvenir shop here at Manten Aquarium. The past is something that follows the person who created it. His peaceful days weren't able to continue as rumors of heinous criminal Hiyoshi Kenji began to spread. and he became the target of unavoidable bullying. To be sure, he was on the other side of fear now. In crimes committed by minors, the name is not supposed to have been released. How did anyone find out? Reality doesn't work like that, like it does in the textbooks. Getting back to the topic at hand, you see, I covered for him. At the very least, at the time, Kenji-kun was serious, an employee overflowing with enthusiasm. He treated his part-time job as a true job. He was more reliable than the kids who saw this as a way to prolong their fun or meet people. Even so, in the end, Kenji-kun's isolation didn't change. I tried to close the distance between us. Having graduated from graduate school and going straight to work, I probably found some warmth within him. That's unexpected. To think you also require warmth. That narrow point of view was draining to me. Just like the fact that I was labeled a workaholic, much like director Sakuragi. Her voice mixed with sarcasm, lowers in tone, sounding as if she's increased its viscosity. I gave him a mother figure, and he gave me a sense of purpose. As my friction with the director grew, before I knew it, I was being supported by him. And in the end, that resulted in murder. Oh, you're so impatient. Well then, since it seems you don't care about to hear the rest of our softer days, I'll leave that part out. A woman's jealousy is equal to her instinct. I ignore the fact that she says all this with no hint of embarrassment. In reality, it's because I really don't know how to respond to what Sayumi Reiko is saying. He was different than I. I was unable to sense that his mental deformities were growing larger. However, the fact that I had no doubts regarding his proposition to kill someone shows how worn down my own mind was. Hey, that's... The second he once again set eyes on a person's death, it was like a Pandora's box had opened. Without allowing sight to continue, Sayumi Reiko says her next thoughts without any room for a pause. The genesis of the plan for the director's murder was Kenji-san. Oh, don't make that face. I cannot have you misunderstanding me. At the time, my malevolence and murderous intent were certain, and the one who saw Sakuragi I saw was me. To be sure, even if Kenji hadn't attempted me, I would have reached the same conclusion in the near future anyway. His deformities grew further, and he viewed death with even more excitement. Then you're saying the reason Mario was killed was just for his enjoyment? No way. That's inhumane. Big sister, calm down. She's surely trying to make you angry and upset. She's intending to stir you up so that your heart may be consumed by darkness. Everything she's saying is in the past. Rest assured, you aren't the only one upset. But, speaking in a loud voice, both of their faces come into view. I have to calm down. I'm the one who wanted to know the truth. Sayumi Reiko's loud laughter reverberates, and it grates on my nerves, and I narrow my eyes. I wouldn't do something so underhanded. Moreover, just now you said that Kenji-kun was inhuman, didn't you? You must misunderstand. It's exactly because he's human that he feels pleasure at death. I can't emphasize, but I suppose I can understand. Specifically because he's a human, he can feel happiness, anger, sadness, and enjoyment. From the instant the director died, this place was born. Since that child and I died inside the Red Manten Aquarium, we were likely treated as missing persons. That's why Kenji-kun's sins didn't come to light. It's impressive how he continued to peacefully live on and melt into society while carrying the swirling desires of his heart, of course. Kenji-kun used this world of malice, killing the girls he brought here. If he killed them here, no proof remained. In the end, Kenji-kun's heart called out to those who were of this place grudge and melded them together with them. What do you mean? Just as you suspect, having a body, Kenji-kun has been entrusted with the role of bringing fresh lives here. His soul is already assimilated into the Red Manten Aquarium. The Hiyoshi Kenji you met originally is merely a leftover will. Half dead, half living? Then in other words, Kenji-kun is already Wait, the lady said assimilated just now. If that child power can release souls, then Kenji-kun's soul is the same. Since he has a flesh body, then wouldn't he return to his original body? It's so regular that there's no precedent for it, but theoretically there should be no mistake about it. No matter how unpleasant it may be, I wasn't lying about wanting to hear the truth. But if I had the chance to talk to him, I wanted to hear the truth from his mouth. I don't know how much of Sagini Mireiko's story is true. Kenji-kun's past is so over the top, there's no way I can emphasize. I can think of it as nothing more than a tale. However, if I believed him once, then I want to properly understand the situation. I at least want to get a proper farewell. Why would you two do something that would put you at a disadvantage? It is a woman's obstinance. I wonder if you can grasp at least that much. Don't toy with me. I shouted at Sagini Mireiko, who decides to mess with us further in this situation. My voice doesn't have an echo, as if it's swallowed by the darkness. At least let me see you. You're alone now, aren't you? If you were with Kenji-san, the director, he would try to swallow us up. I wonder if that really is the case. Haha. Her laughter gradually becomes louder. Her ominous voice completely fills the room. How annoying. This probably wasn't a reaction to Silas' words, but the voice suddenly stops. At the same time, the voice disappears. The light comes on in the director's office. The blue light flowing from the tank lights up the room. Oh, Kenji died? In the center of the director's office, lying on his side on the desk, is Hayoshi's Kenji's corpse. Kenji-san? As if a stake had been thrust through his large chest, there's a red stain where his heart should be. The antique furniture is wet and blood. Kenji-san's body may not make the slightest movement, even without checking his pulse or breathing instincts tell me that this is a dead body. Being cautious, we do not go near him. Sagini Mireiko is likely hiding somewhere. What exactly is going on here? The three of us crowd together, each looking in a different direction. Even as I asked that in a loud voice, I received no response. He's dead. What is this? Where's Sagini Mireiko? She's here, big sister. Was in that light. Mari is pointing to the blue light illuminating Kenji's corpse. Is comprehension still not coming to you? This man, I killed him. From within the light, only the voice reverberates. Before long, the light creates an outline. The transparent form of Sagini Mireiko faintly appears. When she is visible, I notice that she seems to have taken on the appearance of the past version of herself. Her chignon style of hair has come undone, now somewhat long as it was in the video from 2 years ago. Killed him? But wasn't he your ally? Didn't you love him? That's right, that's why. Sagini Mireiko stretches her spine so that she stands tall like a model, folding her arms and sliding her right hand along her cheek. Thanks to her thick makeup, she looks older, though I get the sense that with no makeup, she's quite the young-looking beauty. Things have settled down enough that I can calmly observe her, although it's not my trembling heart, but rather the air surrounding the director's office that has. Contrary to circumstances, it is a gentler atmosphere. I didn't consider him an ally. He was part of me, needed to achieve one objective, equal to one sealing of the grudge. I told you, didn't I, that it's a woman's obstinance? Sincerely, as a woman, I've decided he had to die. Are you saying that you betrayed the aquarium and Papa? From the perspective of humans, it would seem that way. At any rate, since if I am a higher order being, I wouldn't be able to revert to a merely logical one. That is your fault, Mari-chan. Mari? When she hears her name called, Mari covers her face. She seems to be turned into something we cannot comprehend. I'm sure that if I understand Sagini Mireiko's story correctly, that's what we should be led to believe. That's due to you releasing the souls. I am also being affected by that. I remember that I loved the aquarium, studied, put in effort, all the memories leading me to this point. Just before I was going to kill you for witnessing the director's murder, I also remember that I hesitated. I couldn't run from who I was. That's why you didn't kill Mari, isn't it? You couldn't kill a girl who loved the aquarium. You really are a kind person, aren't you? What a foolish thing. Kindness, beauty, hatred, anger, they're all pieces of the same whole. Nothing more than pieces of the human created ego. It's probably a strange conversation for one who has already passed, but I chose death for myself. Even if I can't go to some place like heaven, I wanted to die as myself, as Saginuma Reiko. Well, I'm gonna leave it off here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We found out a little bit more, but now I'm more confused because Kenji's dead. And yeah, just confused all around. So I want to see how we're gonna battle Reiko and win this. I'll see you guys in the next part. Bye bye.